First star of the night, Brad Ritter. That's our look at Black Bears Rewind. Headed back to last night. Team's making its way out onto the ice for warm-ups tonight, and we will go ahead and take a deep dive inside the Tully's Coaches Corner right now. Don't forget to join us out at the next Tully's Coaches Corner. We had a great show here this past Tuesday, the 15th. The next one will be on November 29th. This is my pregame chat with head coach Gary Gill. Now time for a deep dive inside the Tully's Coaches Corner, and now I'm joined by head coach Gary Gill. And Coach Gill, a long bus ride for the Black Bears today. What's going to be the key to starting off good in the first period?
Getting a good warm-up, getting a jump on the puck right away. So, and that's basically it. Just get a good warm-up, get the legs pumping a little bit, get the blood pumping, and, get the puck moving as fast as possible.
How do you think the first 5 minutes of the first period are going to tell? We got to talk to Coach Tom Reynolds last week here on the Coaches Corner, and he really emphasized how important the first 5 minutes of every period are, but in particularly the first period here tonight.
Yeah, I think we want to get out and establish our forecheck right out of the gate and get up and down the ice and hopefully pin them in the first 5 minutes and get multiple opportunities. So, yeah, the first 5 minutes is real important and to establish what we're going to do for the night.
The Black Bears have a big weapon coming back in the lineup tonight as Austin Thompson draws back in, and we didn't want to push Thompson a little bit too early into the lineup, but how do you think that his progress has come since he got injured back in Danbury a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, he's 100% now, and that's all we can ask for. That's why we didn't rush him, because he is a special player, and we just want to give him. And when we bring guys out like that, we want to make sure that they'll be successful in whatever they're doing. And certainly, a healthy Austin Thompson is better than a 50% on Austin Thompson, and we try to look out for the guys. So having him out on the ice is certainly a step up for us.
All right, and lastly, Coach, you guys talked about improving the special teams this week during a practice. Is there anything that fans could be looking out for tonight on the power play or the penalty kill?
Yeah, I think just more, on the power play, we're looking to get more shots on net, be a little bit more creative, and on the PK, we're going to try to control the play at the neutral zone.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. That is the voice of head coach Gary Gill inside the Tully's Coaches Corner. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more on the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show after these messages on Fox 1430 right here in Binghamton. Jimmy John's in Vestal makes freaky fast, freaky fresh. Sandwiches near you using only the freshest ingredients.
Are they doing the introductions now?
Yes,
pick up
they
from
are.
Our location right here in
Alrighty.
Tasty Sandwich today. Whether you're in store or in a delivery zone, we'll always make you a tasty sandwich.
So already starting the game, like,
They're about to
the next, like,
7-3-0-4-2-3-80 today.
alrighty.
John's freaky fast gourmet sandwiches.
What's our mode of attack?
Hey, hockey fans.
Well, if you want, I can cut out the second break and go directly into the game open.
Family Dental. Located just blocks from the Black Bears Arena, Triple Cities Family Dental
Okay.
provided families with comprehensive and quality dental care for over 70 years. Let them take care of you and give you one more reason to smile. Make an appointment today by visiting triplecitiesfamilydental.com or by calling 607-723-8377 to book an appointment. Make the most of your smile and call Triple Cities Family Dental today. Your teeth will thank you.
Binghamton Black Bears hockey is on the air. The Black Bears on Fox Sports 1430 is brought to you in part by American Standard Heating and Air, Atlas James Construction, the Black Bears Booster Club, Budweiser, Broome OPWDD, Columbia Mutual Life Insurance Company, Corchester Athletic Club, CryoWorks, Excite Motorsports, Fairways Indoor Golf, Jeff Keys Auto Sales, Jimmy John's, Homer Men and Boys Store, Ideal Bowling Center, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Learning Ladder, Lofts at JC, Northeastern Striping Corporation, New York 529 College Savings Plan, Southern Tier Brew, Thompson & Johnson, Toyota, Triple Cities Family Dental, and by Tully's. Now, back to the arena in the voice of the Binghamton Black Bears. Brooks Hill on Fox Sports 1430 WENE Endicott.
Moving ahead of schedule here tonight inside the Thunderdome. This is Center Ice Arena in Delaware, in Harrington, Delaware, for the first time this season for the Black Bears. The Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show will be continuing on as we move through our first period today. Triple Cities Family Dental wants to make your smile their priority. Schedule an appointment today by calling them at 607-545-4148 today. A couple of storylines tonight to look out for. First, for the Binghamton Black Bears, Austin Thompson, who has not played since the Friday night game in Danbury when the Black Bears lost that game by a final score of 5-1. Draws back into the lineup tonight, and two former Black Bears, Eric Oganezov and Ricky Regala, manning the blue line for the team dressed in black tonight. Delaware outfitted in the all-black attire, helmet, jersey, pants with white stripes. The Black Bears outfitted in the traditional road whites, black pants and black helmets. Starting lineup for the Black Bears is Anderson on the left wing, Lewis in the center, and over on the right side, it's Jamie Bussell. Face-off is underway with Sherman and Merkel on the back line, and we are away for hockey here in Delaware. Brooks Hill calling the action solo for both sides tonight, simulcasting both in Fox 1430 and for our friends on the Delaware Thunder YouTube page. Mac Lewis with the puck down low. Here, draw it back over to Jamie Bussell. Bussell gets his ice cut in half as Mac Lewis delivers the game's first hit against former Black Bear Oganezov. In the corner, Bussell with an open ice hit on Weber, and that'll force Weber to check his visor, take his glove off, and re-put all of his equipment back on. Black Bears on the attack as Lewis is behind the net trying to start a cycle, but Bussell overskates the puck, and away come the Thunder. Deep in by Wilson, down low. Wilson dressed in number 7 tonight, out in black, and a offensive turnover for the Thunder lets Bussell cross the red line and dump it all the way in. Brett Parker, the high forward, will apply the forecheck, and here come the Thunder the opposite way. Both teams trading sides, getting our first look at Austin Thompson. Tried to play legally with his hand. Boilar with a good wrap check at the last possible second against Chris Corrigan to allow the Black Bears to exit the zone cleanly. Heavy hits into the boards. We are right on top of the action tonight. We're seeing the puck zip around. I'm located right on top of the penalty box. Black Bears touch up at the line as Thompson will throw it over to Ivashkin. Now Brett Parker and Thompson was looking for a 2-on-1. Parker got a head start into the zone. Black Bears tag up on the delayed offsides. Now the former Davenport University attendee Austin Thompson, his first game back, will go off for a line change. Ivashkin and Parker still out there, and out comes Gino D'Angelo. Backhander from Parker into the zone, but it's going to be knocked away at the last second by Justin Movali. Now Chris Corrigan will circle his own net, and instead here give it up for his teammate, John Amatidis, and Amatidis having some trouble getting it out of the zone. Fitzgerald poking in from his blue line, trying to keep it on the offensive half, but D'Angelo will take control of it at center ice. D'Angelo steers on his backhand over to Jurich from the faceoff dot, throws a wrist shot wide of the net, and the Thunder will be able to exit the zone. Out come Delaware. 2-on-2 opportunity now is Houston Wilson. We'll just wrap it all the way back. And now Oganezov at the blue line, throws a wrist shot through, never made it to the target. That hit Kirkby out in front. JT Walters, the Black Bears defenseman, will reverse it back for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald takes a look down the ice, one-on-one. Regala plays it with his hand against Tyson Kirkby. Those two were teammates just a week ago as Regala takes a hard tumble into the boards. Good thing for Regala, he gets back up without any hesitation. And now here comes Bellard, throws a wrist shot just outside the blue line into the glove of tonight's starting goaltender, Joe Shepard, and that lets us talk about the Atlas James Construction Company starting a goaltending matchup. Excuse me, our friends over at Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company. Joe Shepard in the pipes for the Black Bears. He's 1-0 on the season. He's appeared in 4 games this year with a .218 goals against average and a save percentage of 94. As the Thunder win the face-off, they keep the puck down low. We'll get to Mike McHale here momentarily. And net comes off its pegs temporarily, and the referee will blow the play down as they reset it on its moorings. And on the other side, 200 feet down for the Delaware Thunder, it's Mike McHale, who's played in 4 games this year. He is an 0-2, goals against average of .668 and a save percentage of 87 on the season. Face-off won by the Black Bears, and out comes Mac Lewis, dressed in 7 in green and white. Throws an up pass for Gavin Abbott with a head of steam. Tries to backhand it for a one-touch over to Lewis. Lewis overskates it. Delaware will clear the zone right back to MJ Merkel, though. And Bussell does a good job shoving off one defender. Heavy hit on the sidewall. That'll get the crowd here inside the Thunderdome on their feet. And Sherman will indirect it back up for Gavin Abbott, one of the hometown kids for Binghamton. Loses control of the puck, and Delaware will circle their wagons behind their own net. Binghamton will roll a partial change, and a penalty is coming up. A tripping indication is the signal, and it goes against Gavin Abbott. And with 16:01 left to go here in the first period, the Delaware Thunder are going to send the power play unit first on the ice tonight. Gavin Abbott gets 2 minutes for slashing, and that'll send the Thunder power play unit out on the ice. They're operating at 15% this year. Only 6 power play goals for the team in black, as Weber throws a wrist shot wide of Joe Shepard's net. But the all-important first goal here is something that Delaware is looking for. Corrigan now in his own end will skate out, and he'll throw it all the way across for his teammate, Joseph Brennan. No, excuse me, that's Austin Weber tonight. My apologies. Now Houston Wilson at the point, right in the circle. Weber throws a wrist shot right into the crest of Joe Shepard's jersey, where he will catch and freeze with 15:26 left to go. And a minute 26 left to go in the Gavin Abbott slashing penalty. All 4 changing for Binghamton, getting some fresh penalty killers out on the ice, and Delaware will change all 5 as well. Eric Oganezov and Ricky Regala, former Black Bears, manning the blue line now for the Thunder. It goes off of Regala's hand at the blue line, and Regala will go D-to-D with Oganezov in their own end. Anderson and Bussell, the 2 forwards. Jesse Anderson wearing a full shield tonight. He expected to have surgery in the coming days. Missed a couple of minutes of last Saturday's game against Motor City as he caught a puck up high right on the bridge of his nose. Puck goes right off the skate of Regala, and out comes Jamie Bussell. 2-on-1, short-handed for the Black Bears. Anderson throws a wrist shot. McHale got a piece of it just temporarily, and it deflects into the netting. It'll be an offensive zone coming up for the Black Bears while they're short-handed. 50 seconds left to go in the penalty. Face-off won by Binghamton as a short-handed shot attempt from Mathieu Boilar is blocked on the way through. That'll allow Delaware to start the breakout on their own end. Black Bears are flying around defensively, and here comes Karnazov, and his shot is blocked by Walters on the way through. Shepard got ran into by his own teammate temporarily, and now Ballard, Pierre-Luc Ballard, manning the blue line, throws it down low. And Wilson throws a wrist shot, and that's turned out by Joe Shepard into the corner. Wilson with his head up will switch places with one of the wingers down low. That's Dennis Goffrow, and Goffrow second shot through the blue paint and out, and a puck up high catches the mouth of one of the members of the Thunder. Austin Weber appears to be shaken up. He skates over to the bench, and D'Angelo with a good line change as the Black Bears try to fight for it, and it's offsides at the blue line. Good defense by the Black Bears, and that'll take us to our first media timeout with 13:53 left to go here in Delaware. Game still looking for its first score. You're listening to FPHL Hockey here on Fox 1430.
Getting your hands on an all-new CF Moto side-by-side with four-wheeler is now easier than ever. SiteMotorsports.com. Purchase your next power sports vehicle with our new, easy, and quick online buying experience. Browse, inventory on SiteMotorsports.com. Buy, get a free from financing, e-sign online right from your phone. Ride, have your new power sports vehicle delivered to your home the next day, no extra charge. Browse, buy, ride. Fun starts here at SiteMotorsports.com. Now back to more.
Get ready.
Welcome back to the action here as we get set for a neutral zone face-off. Right outside of the Black Bears blue line, D'Angelo ties up his man, and it'll be Tyler Jurich coming away with it. Her indirected all the way back for Corey Sherman. We'll get to tonight's injuries and scratches at the next whistle that we can. Tyson Kirkby will sidestep his man, and it's a 2-on-2 opportunity. Here comes D'Angelo, another Binghamton native, trying to wrap around the net, loses his edge at the last possible second. Kirkby can't follow up on the rebound attempt, and the Thunder will escape the zone. Now here comes John Amatidis. Amatidis gets ran into the boards, and now the teams will pile up out in front. Shepard thought about reaching out of his crease and playing the puck, but Kirkby will throw a saucer pass, and it'll be knocked down illegally with a high stick, and that allows us to talk about the Court Gesture Athletic Club injuries and scratches tonight for the Binghamton Black Bears. Jake Schultz, Mike Haskins, and Josh Newberg, along with Owen Liskowitz, are the scratches tonight. Gavin Yates still out with that upper body concern, and Kyle Powell acting as an assistant coach tonight behind the bench, still dealing with a foot issue. That's tonight's injuries and scratches update, brought to you by our friends over at the Court Gesture Athletic Club, Binghamton's premier fitness facility. Houston Wilson overskates the puck, and the Black Bears are allowed to get on their forecheck. Very heavy forechecking tonight for the team dressed in white. They've been flying around the Delaware end, making it hard for the Thunder to escape their side every time so far here in the first 7.5 minutes. A pass that's overskated. Oganezov, the new member of the Thunder, will have to come all the way behind his goaltender, Mike McHale. And McHale will get to the top of his crease, steer it out as the Black Bears try to touch up. This play is on sides for Binghamton if they wanted to, but Fitzgerald will just roll it all the way back. Ivashkin self-pass off the board, going up against his countryman, Oganezov, and Oganezov will get the better of Ivashkin on that battle. Thompson looking for his first shot back as a Black Bear since going out with injury just a little bit under a month ago. And Thompson now with the puck throws a wrist shot out in front. Ivashkin pushes it too far to the side, and the Black Bears come up empty-handed on that try. And Brett Parker with it down low. He gets it stripped away at the last possible second, as the Thunder just throw it out to center ice, pawed down legally by Fitzgerald. Black Bears touch back up, and Ivashkin throws a wrist shot that just goes over the shoulder of the goaltender. And the Thunder will push it out to center ice once again. Now it's JT Walters steering with it on his backhand. Black Bears have to be careful here not to get a too many men penalty, but a turnover right at the blue line puts it right on the tape of Corrigan. Gapped up though, and Shepard will stop a backhand attempt and melt it down. .28 left to go here. A 3-minute head start to tonight's game as we drop the puck locally at 7:27. But 3 minutes early, not too shabby as the Black Bears throw the puck out of their own zone and to the fan side of the arena. This will come all the way back inside the Black Bears defensive end to the left of Joe Shepard. It'll be Corrigan and Lewis facing off with each other. And now the Black Bears throw it into the open corner off the face-off win by Lewis. He's the first man down in the zone as Bussell dumped it in down low. Bussell takes a look up, is looking at Merkel holding the blue line, but instead gives it back up for Lewis. They give it down low to Anderson. They start a cycle back up to the blue line. Merkel throws a wrist shot, kicked out with a purpose by McHale, and Delaware exits the zone. Merkel first to the puck, will throw it indirect off the boards right onto the hand of Ricky Regala. Regala can't do anything with the puck, and he just throws it all the way down to Jesse Anderson. Anderson rocking that half shield, the full shield. That's also an injury update for you. Just while that nose heals, doesn't want to injure it any further than what it was last week against Motor City inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Fitzgerald saucers the puck to himself. A good play over the high forward, but the Black Bears are changing right now, and that allows Delaware to come out of the zone, cross center ice, and Houston Wilson throws a wrist shot on. That's easily turned aside by Joe Shepard. Now Kirkby will spin around and change his direction, and Jurich was thought about going off for a change, but his line's still out there. Fitzgerald, Kirkby, and Jurich, though, out on the ice, had a 3-on-2, and out come the Thunder the other way. 32 opportunity the other side as Oganezov throws a backhand. Good defensive stick by J.T. Walters as it deflects out of play. We're headed to a media timeout with 9:52 left to go here. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back in. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. A great defensive play by J.T. Walters at the last second against Eric Oganezov. On the poke check, forced the puck out of play into the netting, and this will be an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Thunder to the left of Joe Shepard with 9:52 left to go here in the first period. Some news and notes also. Yuri Haida from Czechia, also playing in his first game for the Black Bears, making his season debut tonight. He's wearing number 3, dressed in white. I want to say a word of welcome to all of our fans listening on simulcast tonight. Delaware Thunder fans and Black Bear fans taking a part of Friday night action here on the East Coast. Thunder with control of the puck, and a wrist shot by Corrigan just outside the face-off dot is easily detected by the goaltender Shepard. They'll track it into his mitt and close tightly, and we'll have another face-off. Black Bears penalty kill is 1 for 1 tonight. That's the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. And 3-on-2 opportunity. Cross-ice pass from Thompson to Ivashkin. Ivashkin coming through a lot of traffic, and a blocker saved by McHale. You might not have seen that one. A lot of guys out in front of the goaltender, his own team and Black Bears screening the goalie, but McHale stands his ground as we're still looking for the first goal. This comes all the way down, and this is icing against Delaware. We're bringing 200 feet back into the offensive zone for Binghamton. .906 left to go, and Mac Lewis, Gavin Abbott, Jesse Anderson, the forwards. For Binghamton, Corey Sherman and MJ Merkel manning the blue line face-off. Tied up between the two centermans. The wingers come in, and Abbott was first to it. He pushes it out of the zone, but Merkel will just throw it all the way in, delayed offsides. Binghamton will tag up as Abbott's the high forward, first man in. Puck makes its way back out to center ice as Delaware is just happy to escape the zone. Recollect their breaths temporarily as Gavin Abbott crosses the line on sides, but he's given a rough ride into the boards by 77 dressed in black. That's R2 Aloyne, and Aloyne now throws a wrist shot that's going to be deflected off of the ceiling and back onto the ice. It's an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Thunder. Houston Wilson, saw him manning the blue line on that power play for Delaware. He's the center on this line. Paired up with Austin Weber and John Amatidis. Wilson will try to push it forward, but it falls into the hands of the Black Bears. D'Angelo tries to up it out of the zone, and Delaware does a good job of keeping it in. That's Joseph Brennan holding the blue line, and now D'Angelo will be able to push the puck out to neutral ice while Delaware tags up. Houston Wilson throws it back to his defenseman, and they will go D to D, and the breakout will start once again for Delaware. Amatidis throws it up onto the backhand of Weber. Weber trying to put his helmet back on, couldn't relocate the puck in time, and Tyson Kirkby has it down low, skates behind his net, uses it as a pick, and finds his line mate Tyler Jurich. Throwing it over to D'Angelo. It goes underneath the stick of D'Angelo. No icing as the linesman weighs it off at the last second. All three of the Black Bears forwards applying high pressure in the offensive end while Delaware was in control of the puck. And Jurich now will let his teammates change, doing his best stick handling impression. And now Colin Fitzgerald crossing in the blue line, throws it up, and Thompson has it roll on his stick at the last possible second. Binghamton does not get a shot attempt off on that rush. And Pierre-Luc Ballard tries to up the puck out, plays on sides. Thompson thought he heard offsides, and he skates out of the zone, not knowing where the puck was. It was right at his feet. It would have been a golden opportunity for the Black Bears. Linesman said the play was on sides, but Thompson decided to tag up anyway. Thompson still shaking off a little bit of rust after not playing in the last 3 weekends as Oganezov goes off. It's a 2-on-1 the other way, and a great bat check by Nikita Ivashkin allows the Black Bears to go 3-on-2. Ivashkin now dances around one man, centering pass out in front, and the Black Bears score. Binghamton's on the board first. And it's 1-0 Black Bears with 6:37 left to go in the first period. It's Brett Parker starting the scoring, and Binghamton breaks the ice. Brett Parker continues to stay hot. Parker picking up his 5th of the season, and it's 1-0 Binghamton. Delaware now trying to capitalize on the all-important next shift after a goal. No icing against the Thunder as the pass goes out in front, hops over a Thunder stick at the last second, and out comes Jesse Anderson ahead of steam, and he's sent down to the ice by Ricky Regala, and a penalty coming up against the former Black Bear turned Thunder. And Regala is headed to the penalty box with 6:12 left to go here in the period. A neat little tradition that the Thunder have, the new guy on the team wearing number 99, signifying that it could be the next great one. And Ricky Regala wearing number 99 tonight, as Eric Oganezov wore it last weekend for the Thunder. Just a little tidbit that you can pick up on. The Black Bears power play is on the ice. They lost control of the faceoff, but they maintained possession. Kirkby throws a slap pass over to Jurich, and Jurich has it hop over his stick at the last second. It gets down low, and then it's enough to throw the puck out of the zone. They have to tag up. And Colin Fitzgerald, the lone defenseman, out on this power play, unit number 1 for Coach Gary Gill's club. Fitzgerald brings it all the way down to the goal line, and Bussell will indirect it over to Jurich. One-timer from Jurich, and he steers it wide of the net. Kirkby, though, make that Bussell holds the line. Kirkby operates the quarterback position in the dead center of the ice. He trades places with Jurich. Now Bussell up top, and Jurich misses the net once again on the one-timer. Kirkby steers it down low for Bussell. Bussell had a 2-on-1 goal last week to give the Black Bears a tied game against the Rockers, and this puck thrown all the way down the ice will allow Delaware to change. And power play unit number 2 coming out on the ice as well. Team's jockeying for it right in front of the Delaware bench, and it'll hop out of play. And we'll have a face-off coming up with 4:52 left to go, 40 seconds left to go in the Black Bears power play. This will be right outside of the neutral zone. And nope, the officials getting together, and they want to all confer with each other and talk about where, if they're going to drop the puck inside the Delaware defensive end or right outside of the blue line. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard a little bit later on tonight when we get to the Excite Motorsports intermission report. Shorthanded opportunity possibly developing for the Thunder as Joe Shepard has to come out of his net, and here that'll be a shorthanded shot that he has to turn aside A heads-up play made by number 15, Chris Corrigan, chopping at the puck, and Shepard had to be on his toes. 20 seconds left to go in the penalty to Ricky Regala. Black Bears' second power play unit having a little bit of trouble entering the zone after that initial rush. Boilard getting pestered down low, and it'll find the stick of Austin Thompson. Austin Thompson sidesteps one man crossing the blue-red and another blue line. 2-on-2 as Thompson finds an open Nikita Ivashkin, but a pass a little bit too far behind him. Doesn't allow the Black Bears the opportunity to set up. Penalty is over to Ricky Regala, and it's 5-on-5 once again. Parker goes cross ice to Thompson, but beautifully read by Corrigan as the wrist shot's thrown out in front. Mikhail makes the save with his leg pads. One-on-one opportunity now coming the other way. Overskated by the Thunder down low. Dennis Gaffroff lost control of it at the last second, and 2-on-1. Brett Parker and Ivashkin. Parker throws a wrist shot just over the shoulder of the goaltender, but Binghamton does a good job of holding the zone. Corey Sherman now cross ice, choking down low, giving it over to Brett Parker. He has the difference maker so far in this one. Mac Lewis bats it up high, played legally with a hand from Oganezov in the defensive end, and Oganezov will just throw it all the way down to the Binghamton blue line, and shot in at the offsides line by Sherman, and it'll be melted down with a trapper by McHale. We're going to step aside, headed to commercial. 3:16 left to go here in period number one. The Black Bears are on the board thanks to the goal by Brett Parker. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back to the action. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on a Friday night. Brooks Hill on the simulcast call on the Delaware Thunder YouTube page and on the Black Bears radio network. Face-off tied up, but it's won by the Black Bears. A turnaround shot by Jamie Bussell comes up empty-handed as he fanned on it. It allows the Thunder to throw it back out to neutral ice, and Gavin Abbott is the first forechecker making his way into the zone. The Black Bears have been applying heavy forecheck all night long, and the Thunder have struggled with getting the puck out of their own end. Wrist shot put on by Gavin Abbott and melted down by McHale, and no further play. Face-off won back by the Thunder, and Oganezov and Regala will go D to D. They were teammates a week ago in Binghamton, and now they're teammates 7 days later here in Delaware. Fitzgerald, it looks like he would be headed to the penalty box as he puts his hands up in the air, pleading his case to the official, but the Delaware power play is skating their way back out onto the ice. Gives us another opportunity to talk about our friends over at the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. Their penalty kill is brought to you by Northeastern Striping Corporation all season long. They are a full-service specialty contracting company specializing in paving and concrete. Delaware power play is 0 for 1, and with 2:41, the Black Bears are trying to get back to the locker room still with a one-goal lead intact. Walters chops at the puck as the teams will fight for it. End on end, Wilson holding the blue line, wraps it all the way around the boards, down low. Wilson right in the slot, throws a wrist shot on, and Joe Shepard stands his ground, and Binghamton will come out, and that puck is played with a high stick. We will have a neutral zone face-off coming up, and Joe Shepard standing tall here in period number one. Shots on goal, 10 for Delaware so far, and 9 for the Black Bears. Only difference maker so far is The even strength goal from Brett Parker, assisted by Mac Lewis and Nikita Ivashkin at 13:23 of the first period. Anderson wins the faceoff back, and Boilar will just throw it on goal, or just wide of the goaltender rather, behind the Delaware net, and the Thunder will have to make a 200-feet play on the breakout. Bussell and Anderson, the two forwards, as Delaware crosses the line onside. Weber gets tied up with Jesse Anderson. They don't know where to find it in between both of their skates. As Corrigan now dancing around with it just outside the face-off dot to the left of the goaltender. Brings it down to the goal line, trying to force the Binghamton defense to rotate over and create an open lane. Weber at the point, gets it into the face-off dot down low, and Wilson throws a wrist shot, and puck is available. Referee blew the whistle before Shepard had it, and play is halted. 4 new bodies coming out on the ice for Binghamton, and 5 on the other side for Delaware as well. Face-off won by the Thunder, and Regala will take control of the puck here, give it up down low. Gets it right back, and O'Reilly skating into the face-off dot. Aloyan will throw it down low, and the crowd pleading for another call as the teams were boxing out in front of the net. Name of the game for the penalty kill for the Black Bears today, as Delaware had to tag up on the delayed offsides. Basie now with the puck. And Matidis was calling for it, but it gets stripped away, and it falls onto the stick of Corey Sherman, who gets it right onto the toe, throws it all the way down. No icing, 15 seconds left to go in the penalty, and a minute left to go here in the first period. Regala with a tight turnaround, allowing his team to create any spice that he can, but throws it right to his opposer, Gavin Abbott. Abbott would just dump it all the way down. That'll kill the penalty, and the Black Bears penalty kill is 2 for 2 tonight. 35 seconds left to go, as Amatidis now losing control of the puck. Temporarily does a good job standing up Kirkby and D'Angelo while trying to maintain possession of it. Regala, wearing 99 in black and silver, skates in. Jurich will just backhand it out of the zone. Nobody dressed in white there to collect the puck, but that will force Delaware to tag up. But look out, turnover. Tyson Kirkby now inside the face-off dot. He scores. Tyson Kirkby with his 7th goal of the season, and it's 2-0 Black Bears with 8.7 left to go. The high-pressure forecheck pays dividends here tonight in Delaware. And Tyson Kirkby gets his 7th of the year. It's 2-0 Black Bears. Just under 9 seconds left to go here in the first period, as the linesmen ask Ballard and Jurich to please skate out of the dot. Everybody just wanting the linesman just to drop the puck with 9 seconds left to go. Face-off won back by Binghamton. 3 seconds and 2, and it appears that Delaware will be content to go to the locker room down by a pair. It's goals by Brett Parker and Tyson Kirkby, the difference makers so far in this contest, as the Black Bears lead on the road by a count of 2-0. We're a step aside, but don't go anywhere, folks. The Excite Motorsports Intermission Report is coming up after these messages. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton.
Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Welcome back to the action. The puck drop brought to you by our friends over at Lofts at JC, the official housing partners of the Binghamton Black Bears, offering luxury housing with no compromises. The complex has beautiful 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. You can fill out an application at loftsatjc.com today. A late whistle from the linesman as Delaware was winding up for a high danger shot, and Joe Shepard was ready to make a save, but it's offsides against the Thunder. It's coming out of the Black Bears end, and it's a neutral zone faceoff. And Bussell actually had to readjust his equipment. The referee will allow him some extra time. 19:31 left to go. Tonight's broadcast simulcasted on the Delaware Thunder YouTube channel and on Fox 1430 and on the iHeartRadio app. So we want to thank you wherever you may be listening to another edition of FPHL Hockey. Black Bears find themselves up by 2 as they now have control of the puck on the stick of MJ Merkel. Merkel will get pestered a little bit, but throw it out for Mac Lewis. Black Bears will exit the zone, and away comes Jamie Bussell with the puck. Bussell on his forehand, trying to go to the far post, but Oganezov does a good job taking away his angle, forcing a turnover, and out come the Thunder. Wilson will drop it back for Weber. They cross the line on sides. Wrist shot put on and easily steered into the netting by Joe Shepard. Offensive zone faceoff coming up for Delaware. Face-off won by Delaware, and a quick shot put on. A one-timer by Dennis Gaffro, and Gaffro will miss the net, but he collects the puck over in center ice. 3-on-3, Gaffro throws another wrist shot, this time on the short side of Shepard. Goes off the back wall, and Regala will try to indirect it over for his teammate Corrigan. Black Bears will touch up and exit the zone. 2-on-2, Ivashkin and Parker. Parker gets taken down. Penalty coming up against the Thunder. Free play as Haidal will just throw a wrist shot that's easily touched up by Delaware, and the Black Bears power play unit is coming back up, in the second penalty of the night taken by Ricky Regala, the former Black Bear, and the first period of the penalty the first penalty of the period rather, at 18:25. Regala headed back to the box. Black Bears power play is 0 for 1 on the night. Face-off won by Delaware. It's going to be chipped across the corner, and Colin Fitzgerald, the lone defenseman on this unit for Coach Gill's club, is first to it. Kirkby and Bussell occupying some spots, and now Kirkby in his center ice position where he likes to be as the quarterback of this extra man unit. And a turnover by Fitzgerald will allow Delaware to just throw it all the way down the ice. Shepard coming behind his net, sets it up on a tee for Tyler Jurich. And the breakout will start once again. 2 interference penalties against Ricky Regala in tonight's game. As the Black Bears touch up on the line, Tyson Kirkby throws a centering pass out in front in the blue paint. Nobody home, dressed in white. It comes out of the zone, and Black Bears will have to tag up Kirkby. Now with it on his backhand, matched up against Oganezov. Kirkby has his ice impeded temporarily. Fitzgerald almost lost control of the puck at the blue line, but now they get it over for Jurich. Jurich and Fitzgerald go cross ice. One-timer from Bussell, and a big save over the netting on top of the scoreboard by Michael McHale to keep this a 2-0 game. Halfway through the penalty to Regala, 17:25 left to go. Both teams switching up their special team unit. Austin Thompson centering the second power play unit. He loses the face-off, and Delaware will be able to slap it out to neutral ice. Ivashkin has it hop over his stick at the last second. Corrigan applying some pressure in the Black Bears defensive end, but that'll allow Brett Parker to cross the line on sides with control of the puck. And now Thompson down low, back to Anderson, and Boilar does a good job of keeping it in temporarily at the blue line. Boilar, the one defenseman out there right now for the Black Bears, as Parker throws a wrist shot looking for his second goal of the game, but turned aside by McHale. Now Parker holds the line, playing catch with Anderson. And Parker will backhand saucer it over to Anderson. Anderson thought about going cross ice, instead goes for a wrist shot. Boilar not holding the blue line, and with too much on that shot from Anderson, it'll escape the zone, and the Black Bears are forced to reconcile the puck in their own end. Anderson drops it back for Parker. Play is on sides, but Delaware touches up with control of the puck. They throw it all the way down, and 3 of the 4 bodies allowed to change for Delaware. Black Bears trying to catch them in the change, and they're off sides as as D'Angelo entered from the far side of the bench in the offensive zone. Could not get back in time for Thompson to play the puck legally, and forces the linesman to intervene with an offsides call. 16:19 left to go here in period number 2. Penalty is over to Ricky Regala, and both teams' power plays are 0 for 2 on the night. Thunder now with control of the puck. It goes off of the skate of D'Angelo down low. The Thunder were the first to it, but D'Angelo does a good job of keeping away with the puck, and now crossing the blue line with Kirkby. Kirkby with it, and it has a roll off his stick at the last second, and out come the Thunder the other way. Aloyan now inside the dot, throws it wide of Shepard. Shepard thought about reaching out for his glove, but decided not to. The Black Bears are going to be content to let this one roll all the way down. It's on net, no icing against Binghamton. And it'll be melted down, though, by McHale with 15:37 left to go. Delaware not allowed to change off of this as it was dumped in behind the red line. So, in fact, what could have been an icing had it not touched the goaltender turns into a reverse icing for Delaware. Tired bodies out there for the Thunder. Or see if the Black Bears will be able to capitalize. Haida and Merkel, the 2 defensemen, holding the blue line for Binghamton. As the Black Bears lose control of the face-off, Delaware will be content to just overshoot it on top of the head of Merkel all the way down, and this is icing against Delaware, so we're bringing it all the way back to the Delaware end once again. Neither side, special teams just connecting quite yet in this one. Face-off won by Delaware. They've done a really good job of that tonight, and Bassie lays a heavy hit on Anderson right at the half board. Haida does a good job of holding it in temporarily, but he fans on a wrist shot. Maybe just a little bit of first game jitters for Haida. Newest Black Bear on the roster. Gavin Abbott tries to power his way back to his forehand on his left-hand side. Haida does a good job of keeping it at the point. It gets deflected on the way through. Abbott has it nowhere to be found. He didn't know it was right at his feet. He looked up in the sky as if it was going to fall out from the heavens. Black Bears will roll a partial change. Mac Lewis comes off the ice with Jesse Anderson, and Thompson and Parker back on. And now Gavin Abbott can complete the forward line change as Nikita Ivashkin makes his way out onto the ice. Off of the stick of Oganezov, this comes all the way down behind the goal line, and it's icing against the Thunder. And 14:30 left to go. And we will take our media timeout as the referee gives me the signal. We're step aside. 14:30 left to go here in the second period. Black Bears still up by 2 over the Delaware Thunder. You're listening to FBHL Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
On Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Welcome back to the action. Brooks Hill calling the simulcast on the Delaware Thunder YouTube page. And on the Black Bears Radio Network tonight. 14:20 left to go here in period number 2. The Black Bears still find themselves up by a pair as the Thunder have a hard time getting the puck out of the zone. They finally will do it. And Gaffoff will stick handle around Thompson temporarily, but Thompson does a good job of pinning the puck up against the half boards. And now Ivashkin crosses the line on sides, wrist shot high at the target, takes a skip off of the kick plate, and Boilard holds the blue line. And Brett Parker, who has the game's first goal now, will just indirect it down into the corner. Ivashkin and Wilson going one-on-one. Ivashkin waiting for some reinforcements. He finds Austin Thompson. Boilard throws a wrist shot. It was tipped on the way through by a Thunder defenseman, almost right onto the stick of Brett Parker, but now the Thunder will drop it back and they will roll a partial change. A volley coming fresh out onto the ice. The referee gets temporarily in the way for Delaware, and Brett Parker has a 2-on-1 if he hurries. Saucer pass to Ivashkin, just a hair out in front. Black Bears looking for a third one. The linesman loses his edge right at the blue line. Appears to be okay. Stick goes flying up into the air and caught by Ivashkin. And while all that was going on, Delaware has iced the puck and will come all the way back into the offensive zone for Binghamton. Kirkby with control of the face-off win. He'll throw it down low to his alternate captain and teammate, Jurich, and a one-timer from Kirkby trying to go through the 5-hole, but it's saved by McHale. Thunder will throw it out of the zone into center ice. JT Walters dumps it in, and D'Angelo trying to be the first man up to it, but instead it'll be 17 dressed in black, Joseph Brennan. Brennan gives it over to Wilson, and Wilson now crosses the line with Weber. This is delayed offsides. Delaware has to tag up. They're still offsides as Gaffaroff will buzz off at the last possible second. And now Jurich dropping it back now for Fitzgerald, and too many Black Bears right at the blue line. Nobody knew who to touch it, and that turns into a turnover. Gaffaroff now trying to stick handle around Walters, throws a 5-hole shot. Net comes off its pegs as Tyson Kirkby tries to plead to his official that Colin Fitzgerald was flown into his own net, bumping it off of the pegs and forcing the referees to intervene and stop the play. .17 left to go here as Corrigan and D'Angelo will fight for the face-off, one backwards by D'Angelo, and the Black Bears will bring it out of their own zone. D'Angelo with it in center ice, crossing the blue line, drops it back for Kirkby. Kirkby with it on his forehand, has his ice taken away by Corrigan. Delaware does a good job as Regala takes a look up. A quick escape, and now Corrigan crossing the center line and the blue line. Throws it off of the glass behind Joe Shepard while his team rolls a partial change off of the hand of Tyler Jurich. As Haida still getting those first game jitters out of his system. And Regala now with the puck. He'll just dump it in above the head of Boilard. Takes a funny hop on top of Shepard, and Shepard is forced to melt it down while the Black Bears get back in position. It's an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Delaware Thunder. The Learning Ladder Child Care Center is located in Endicott and Johnson City. They enroll children ages 6 weeks to 12 years old. Call 607-770-3808 for an appointment today to walk through one of their facilities. Come join their family and they will help your child grow. Those are our friends over at the Learning Ladder in Endicott and Johnson City. Black Bears trying to fight for control of the face-off. It finally makes its way out to Boilard, and Boilard all the way from Quebec will just wrap it around the boards. Anderson first to it. Anderson looks for a friend to pass to, but a good job by the Delaware defense to cut his ice right in half, and that allows the Thunder to escape the zone. With the puck, Bouchel, though, picks it up in center ice and just wraps it all the way around back to Anderson. A little bit of deja vu. And Ballard throws it up, and Haja FIFAs it. World Cup is getting ready to start here pretty soon, and Haja doing a good job of holding the blue line soccer style with the foot pass. Out come the Thunder. Tipped right at the line by Aloyan, and Aloyan will go off for a change as Thompson now in control of the puck for the Black Bears. Bussell trying to get a poke check to it, but it's lifted over the head of Boilar, who plays it legally with a stick below his shoulders. Haida throws it cross ice for Bussell. It hops on Bussell at the last second, and Haida does enough to get off for a change. Thrown all the way around. Brett Parker trying to be first to it, but Movali beats him just barely. This is icing against the Black Bears. 10:18 left to go in the period. No score yet here in period number 2. Black Bears still lead by a pair as it comes all the way back into the Delaware offensive end. Delaware looking for win number 2 on the season. And the Black Bears now skate out with the puck. It's thrown a wrist shot on. Parker sends his man to the ice, and McHale will just freeze and melt it down. Wilson is waved out of the face-off dot, and Gino D'Angelo will lose the face-off. Movali comes in and ties up the centerman and skates away with the puck. Merkel, though, right in front of the penalty box, will just escape out of the zone, and it's onside. Tyson Kirkby tries to get it to his forehand. And Wilson will throw a wrist shot, and it's stopped by Shepard. And Kirkby will have to wait on the puck to get to him. He just indirects it for D'Angelo. D'Angelo flying into the zone with a head of steam. Puts on a tight turn with the brakes. Spinning around not one but two Black Bears on the stick of Jurich. Jurich tries to go through the 5-hole of Movali to the goaltender. Gets it blocked on the way through. And the Thunder have control of the puck. And Kirkby trying to get another forechecking goal here in period number 2. Partial change for Delaware as Kirkby not having a lot of teammates as Jurich just throws it right at the blue line. He was camped out right behind the linesman, and the Thunder sniffed that one out. They're now in control of the puck. Gafferoff throws it into the open corner. It's overskated by his teammate and Mac Lewis. Now skates away 1-on-2. Lewis in all alone, has his shot blocked by Oganezov, and Lewis will just steer it behind the net, allowing the rest of Binghamton to catch up and roll a change if necessary. Off of the high glass, Fitzgerald plays it right at center ice. Abbott steaming ahead into the zone, but it's melted down by McHale with 8:37 left to go here in the period. We're going to take a quick timeout and step aside. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Of course, and 2-on-2 battle for it down low in the corner. Abbott on his backhand tries to throw it out in front for Colin Fitzgerald, who was coming right down Court Street, but he is overskated. Black Bears have to tag back up. They are on sides as Anderson thought about laying a reverse hit on Regala. Thompson coming in down low, trying to lend a hand to the forecheck as well. And Anderson now makes his way off of the ice. Cross ice pass out in front for Parker, looking for goal number 2 on the night. But the Thunder will skate away with the puck. Aloyan crosses the line on sides, but stripped away at the last second by Boilar. And here comes Ivashian with Parker. Plays on sides. Ivashian empty net. It's blocked on the way through by Regala out in front. Regala just came away with a save of his own. That could have made it 3-0 here in this one. Corrigan coming in on his forehand, trying to beat Shepard to the back door, but a good job by the Black Bears defense to gap up on the far post. Here comes Ivashkin crossing with Fitzgerald, a little bit behind Fitzgerald, and now Parker on the drop pass as the Thunder exit the zone back out to center ice. Boilar throws it up to Thompson. Parker pleading for it, but Thompson on his forehand throws a wrist shot. That's knocked down by McCall. And Haida now will just backhand it back to his defensive partner. Lifted into the air by Matu Boilar. The defensemen get to their blue lines. Ivashkin on his backhand. Doesn't have a lot of room to work with down low, and it'll be knocked away by the goaltender. Paddled down, and out come the Thunder. Gaffarov now crossing over with it on his forehand. Shepard tried to corral it, but it escapes his grasp. Now at the blue line for Bassi. Bassi, and a glove save made by Joe Shepard, perhaps his best of the night. As he goes down into the low splits, flashes the leather, 6:13 left to go. Keeps this game 2-0 in favor of the visitors from Binghamton. Face-off one back by the Thunder, and a knuckle puck knocked away through the blue paint and out by MJ Merkel. It doesn't escape the zone as Moritz now holds the line. In the face-off dot with it down low is Weber. Weber skating around Gino D'Angelo, putting on a good display of figure skating, much like the figure skaters out here before tonight's contest inside the center ice arena. Puck is available right in the top of the slot. It'll be corralled by alternate captain Tyler Jurich, and Jurich skates across the red, and now the blue line with it on his forehand, trying to deke around one but two Thunder members, and it gets stripped away, and the Thunder come away with it in neutral ice. This play is offsides, and the linesman whistles it down, and no further play with 5:32 left to go. Neutral zone face-off. One back by the Thunder. I want to say a warm welcome to all the fans listening in tonight, whether you're in Delaware or in New York. We know some members of the Black Bears front office staff, Julia, Bobby, Kayla, and Sean listening in tonight's broadcast. A warm welcome of hello into the viewing party across YouTube and Fox 1430. Brooks Hill calling the action solo for you tonight. O'Reilly in one-on-one against MJ Merkel, puts a high wrist shot right off the glove of Shepard. He can't corral it, in a heavy hit laid down low on the corner. Delayed penalty coming up against the Black Bears. Puck is available in the slot. Shepard gets across and makes the save. And the Thunder are headed back on the power play for the third time tonight. Elbowing is the indication. And MJ Merkel is headed to the penalty box for the first time tonight. .455 left to go. It'll be the Delaware power play coming back out on the ice after this quick media timeout. You're listening.
Say yes to RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Now back to more Black Bears hockey on Fox Sports 1430 Binghamton.
Delaware Thunder back out on the power play. They had control of the puck off of the face-off. It's a 2-minute penalty to MJ Merkel for elbowing. A minor penalty thrown all the way down the ice now by Colin Fitzgerald. And McHale will set it up on a tee for his Thunder power play unit. They are 0 for 2 on the night. Combined, the teams are respectively 0 for 3. Or excuse me, they are 0 for 4. This is the 5th penalty of the game. And a shorthanded opportunity may be brewing here as Jamie Bussell is the first man in. He will chop at it, but McHale does a good job of getting it around Bussell. Anderson holding the blue line will just dump it in behind the net and skate off for a quick change, and Kirkby will come on the ice and take his spot. D'Angelo and Kirkby now the two high forwards on the penalty kill unit. Gafferoff crosses the line on sides, has it roll on his stick at the last second. Kirkby takes a look down the ice, sees that nobody is with him, and he'll just dump it down low, allowing his defenseman to change. Mathieu Boilard going 1-for-1 with JT Walters on the fly. Now Houston Wilson crossing the center ice, and now the blue line with the puck. He has it roll on him at the last second, knocked away by Sherman right in front of his own goaltender. That's a dangerous play for the Black Bears defense. Thunder still with plenty of time left to go on the power play. Houston cross ice pass, and Delaware scores. Austin Weber cashes in on the power play. Delaware's power play now 1 for 3 on the night. They cut the lead in half, and with 3:26 left to go, the Thunder are on the board. Gotta wonder what would happen if you just let Shepard cover up that puck. Instead, they keep it in play. The Black Bears turnover in their own end leads to a Delaware power play goal, and it's the Thunder grabbing the only goal of the period so far with 3:20 left to go. Thunder trying to tie this game up before they get to the locker room. D-to-D passing in front of the own net with the forechecker. Now finds the stick of Brett Parker. Parker will dump it in past the linesman. And Austin Thompson gives his man a rough ride. Haida pinches down low and just passes it down to Thompson. Parker with a low wrist shot, easily detected by McHale. And now the Thunder will escape harm, crossing center ice and dumping it all the way in. Shepard has it come in and out of his glove. That's happened a couple times tonight, just not staying inside the netting of the catcher's mitt. And 2:45 left to go here in the second period. Boilard will backhand it. Haida takes a rough tumble on the slick ice. It's choppy. This is offsides against the Thunder. They have to tag up, and they will change their forwards as well. Nikita Ivashkin running out of real estate down low on the opposite side of the screen. Gives the puck right back to the Thunder, and D-to-D passing knocked down by Brett Parker. Parker on the forecheck. And Thompson tried to keep it in the zone temporarily, but it finds the stick of Gafferoff. Gafferoff crosses the line on sides, drops it back for Oganezov. Oganezov has it on his backhand. Centering pass out in front, cleaned up by Brett Parker. Black Bears will knock it out to neutral ice. They will allow the forwards to change. Boilard gets off horse, then Parker. And 5 fresh bodies now on the ice for the Black Bears. MJ Merkel fresh off of his 2-minute minor for elbowing, throws it all the way down as Bussell tips it. No icing, and the play's on sides for Binghamton. Bussell giving it up for Anderson. Anderson in the face-off dot, drops it back for Bussell. Self-pass kept in at the line by Sherman. Sherman over to Bussell, wrist shot, and snared by McHale with 91 seconds left to go in period number 2. Teams having some light jawing and some pushing and shoving after the whistle. That's just good old-fashioned hockey. 91 seconds left to go. Delaware now trails by 1, thanks to the goal by none other than Austin Weber. Don't go anywhere, folks. The Excite Motorsports second intermission report is coming up in just a little bit. We're going to talk about the second period and set it up for the final 20 minutes of tonight's action. Delaware now with control of the puck, and it's Ricky Regala. Sidesteps a man, crosses the line onside, sidesteps 2-on-1, cross ice to the back door. That would have been an amazing first point for Regala with his new team, but instead the Black Bears escape harm for the time being. One minute left to go here in the second period. Passes through the blue paint and out. And off the high glass, Bussell trying to connect with Anderson. It just falls to the defenseman for Delaware. And Ballard loses control of it. He's pestered by Gino D'Angelo. Nobody occupying the blue line, so MJ Merkel will come in. Kirkby will hold his spot, and Kirkby does a good job of bluffing off a defender. Black Bears cross the line on sides as Jurich will try to beat his man to the corner. That's Joseph Brennan. And makes its way to center ice. 25 seconds left to go. Merkel will just dump it in down low. Grippy now trying to tattoo the man down low. That was Regala. And now 3-on-2. And a booming slap shot put on by Corrigan. Cross ice. It ends up behind the net. 7 seconds left to go. Oganezov throws a shot. It goes off of the crossbar to a ducking Shepherd. It steers its way into the corner, and that's the horn. The Black Bears dodge a bullet in the final minute of the period. Oganezov went hunting and went right off of the crossbar. That could have tied the game up with under 5 seconds left to go in the frame. The final horn sounds, and the Black Bears hold a 2-1 advantage as the Delaware Thunder are the only team to get on the board in period number 2. Referees come together at neutral ice right in front of the red line and the penalty box, just making sure nothing will be divvied out before the teams make their way back to the locker room. We will take this opportunity to step aside. Don't go anywhere, folks. The Excite Motorsports Intermission Report is coming up after these messages. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton. their way onto the ice for the third period of tonight's game. They have a 1-goal advantage as the Delaware Thunder were the only club able to break the scoreboard in the middle frame. The third period is brought to you by our friends over at American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They are built to a higher standard, and they are the official sponsor of tonight's third period. Referees, Black Bears, and Thunder have made their way out onto the ice. It's a 1-goal game with 20 minutes left to go to settle this one before we even think about the Toyota RAV fourth period. Say a warm welcome to all of our friends watching on YouTube tonight, as well as Fox 1430, locally back home in Binghamton. Referees and linesmen get together ready to drop the puck. It appears that nothing will come of that little skirmish at the end of the second period. We will continue to play the game the way it was designed to at 5-on-5. And Delaware wins the face-off back, and the third period is underway. Puck ends up in neutral ice and will be slapped at by Merkel and chomped ahead by Delaware, but the Black Bears turning it over right at their own blue line. Here comes Houston Wilson, throws a wrist shot that's swallowed up by Corey Sherman on the defensive side. This is delayed offsides against the Thunder. That allows Sherman to throw it all the way down the ice. First man to it is Basie, and Alex Basie gets tied up with Jesse Anderson down low. Saucer pass out of the zone, tipped away, and the Black Bears will have control of the puck just 30 seconds in to the third period. Boilar now has his ice cut in half as on a good forecheck attempt coming away from Pierre-Luc Ballard. And Thompson gets a rough ride into the wall by Movalle. Good to see Thompson shrugs that one off in his first game back from injury. Boilar trying to saucer it to himself with the pass. It finds the stick of Thompson. Thompson now back up to the point. Wrist shot swallowed up. Puck is available, and the referee says play on as it's loose, and out come the Thunder. Movalle throws it up ice, and it will be directed all the way into the corner for Boilar. Ivashkin first to it, chips it ahead for Thompson of Davenport University. Throws it cross ice for Brett Parker. Throws a seeing eye wrist shot just wide of the net. Ivashkin trying to sidestep around Corrigan. Gets his ice cut in half as Ivashkin and Corrigan will mark each other, and Corrigan will just drop it back for his defenseman down low. And Brennan will go D to D. Movalle lost it temporarily as it took a hot skip and a little glide off of the fresh ice. And Fitzgerald now crossing the line onside. Thompson on his forehand has his wrist shot blocked by a good back check by Dennis Gaffaroff. Gaffaroff now steers it low, but Thompson will get to it first. Walters back to Thompson. Those two play catch with it. Thompson tries to hold it in, but a good defensive check by Gaffaroff, and Gaffaroff now crossing line with Amatidis, and Amatidis now will just slam his stick in frustration and skate off of the ice. Wilson now tries to toe drag around Parker. A little too fancy, and Parker is able to just push the puck out of the blue line, and now he can skate off for a line change. Black Bears touch up. They're now on sides as Gino D'Angelo, Tyson Kirkby, and Tyler Jurich are out on the ice. Top line for Gary Gill's club. This is responsible for the difference-making goal so far, as Tyson Kirkby has an unassisted one. Wrist shot from Ballard is caught by Shepard just from center ice and melted down. 17-19 left to go here in the period. Faceoff was won by Binghamton. Sherman tried to exit the zone, but it was held in by Oganezov right at the blue line. Delaware still in control of the puck. Now down low with it is Weber. Has the goal for Delaware, but he gets it stripped away, and Kirkby glides it ahead into the open corner. Been saying Austin Weber's name a whole lot tonight. That's because he's all over the puck, offensively and defensively, flying down the ice for the Delaware club. And it rolls off the stick of Houston Wilson, and the Black Bears will take control over it in center ice. Kirkby tries to just indirect it, but there's not enough mustard on that pass for his former college teammate, Mac Lewis. And Kirkby, who was deceptively calling for it, ends up catching a takeaway pass, and now Jamie Bussell loses an edge at the last second. And Gavin Abbott now crosses the line. Onsides, Gavin Abbott on his forehand. throws a centering pass just out in front of Mac Lewis, and he can't connect. And the Thunder skate away out of their own end. Stretch pass from Oganezov. They say it's tipped on the way through. No icing as Aluyon gets it down low. O'Reilly overskates it. And Bussell now skating away for the Black Bears in center ice. Bussell will dump it in down low. McHale will just direct it in behind the net. Aluyon throws it on its side, and a one-on-one opportunity now coming down the ice. Chris Corrigan on his backhand had a wide open backside of the net, but steers it wide of Joe Shepard, and the game remains 2-1 in favor of Binghamton. Brennan now with the puck behind his own net, allowing his team to change. Oganezov goes off, and Ricky Regala will come on in his spot. And now the puck on the stick of number 19, the aforementioned Austin Weber. Weber turns it over right to Haida. Haida will just dump it now. And Corrigan taking control of it as the Black Bears defensive pairing was changing. Parker does a good job on his forecheck, tying up his man. Ivashkin now with the puck down low. Ivashkin has it stripped away from him, and the Thunder are able to exit the zone. Fitzgerald and Walters go D to D, and Fitzgerald tries to find the tape of Parker. It hops his stick, but he collects the loose change. Parker throws a wrist shot as Ivashkin was fighting his way through a screen. Delaware throws it all the way down. This will be icing against the Thunder, and we're bringing 200 feet back. Referee's trying to get all the members of the Thunder back out on the ice, but they'll have the whole media timeout to do so, and we will step aside. You're listening to FPHL Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. The first man to it as it makes it all the way down low. They're bringing 200 feet as 10 seconds get shaved off of the clock. 9:35 left to go. Black Bears still on top of the Thunder, 2-1. Nobody scoring yet here in period number 3. D'Angelo facing off with Corrigan. Linesman issues a warning to the Black Bears side and drops the puck, and Delaware will collect it off of the face-off dot. Gavroff will wrist it in. Joe Shepard will snare it down and play it back for Haida. Haida throws it all the way around the boards. And no icing, as they say that Alex Basie could have gotten to it and played it. Basie now behind his net will direct it out for Oganezov. Oganezov will just backhand it around Haida. It's thrown right out in front. 2 men dressed in black for the center. And a wrist shot blocked by Haida on the way through, and Haida appears to be shaken up. Referee will melt it down. And Haida appears to be shaken up on that shot block. 8:56 left to go, and folks, he is favoring a spot on the body where you do not want to take a hockey puck. And you hate that for Haida. First game with the Black Bears all the way from the European country of Czechia. And Haida skating off on his own power, but can definitely tell he's hurting. Good news is he looks like he'll be staying on the bench for the time being. It's an offensive zone face-off coming up for the Thunder. Corrigan matched up against Gavin Abbott. Wrist shot wide of Shepard's net as Delaware controls the face-off. Corrigan and Weber playing catch with each other. Now Corrigan gets it down low for Gafroff. Gafroff trying to direct traffic behind the net. Gets tied up with Colin Fitzgerald. Gafroff outside the face-off dot, throws a wrist shot. Friendly fire takes Corrigan down to the ice, and now Corrigan's the one shaken up. Some wrist shots getting tapped on the way through. And JT Walters now ups the puck for Bussell. Bussell crosses the red line, flung all the way into the corner, melted down by the goaltender. And Corrigan vocalizing his displeasure and pain with blocking his own teammate's shot. Offensive zone face-off coming up for the Black Bears. 8:19 left to go in period number 3. MJ Merkel throws a wrist shot through that's deflected by Bussell, taking Bussell down to the ice, wide of the target. And that puck almost made its way over to the penalty box perch right here in the Jeff Kai's Auto Sales broadcast booth. Could have sent a lucky broadcaster home with a souvenir. Face-off won back by Delaware, and Regala will throw it back for his now defensive partner, Alex Basie. And the Black Bears now in their own end, chasing the puck. MJ Merkel first to it. Wrist shot blocked on the way through. Second shot, and a blocker save made by Shepard. Black Bears need to get the puck out of their own zone, and they do, taking away the momentum of the Thunder. And Parker sidestepped Regala. Regala was playing the body the entire way. Parker with it down low, runs out of real estate down low. Delayed penalty now against the Thunder as Shepard makes his way over to the bench. Wrist shot put on. It's blocked on the way through. Sixth man out on the ice is Tyler Jurich. It hops the stick of Ivashkin. Ivashkin, though, loses control of it now and touched up. And a penalty coming up against the Delaware Thunder, the first in 2 periods. And the power play unit coming back out on the ice for the Black Bears. And Alex Basie gets 2 minutes for cross-checking with 7:20 left to go in the 3rd period. Each team has committed 3 penalties. The Black Bears can look for the insurance goal now, and Fitzgerald with it at the face-off dot, down low to Bussell. Fitzgerald skates in, down low to Bussell. Bussell centering pass out in front, never made it into the slot. He'll recollect it and give it back over to Fitzgerald. Kirkby and Jurich will trade places with it, trying to get the rotation. Now Fitzgerald cross-ice pass back up to Jurich. One-timer wide of the net. Kirkby tries to go back off of the goalie. He says yes, and the referee says no. Tyson Kirkby thought he had his 2nd goal of the game, but McHale hugging that short post as tightly as he can, keeps that puck out. Minute 26 left to go in the penalty, and 6:46 left to go in the period. Houston Wilson ushered out of the face-off dot, and Kirkby will lose this face-off, but Bussell will get to the loose change behind the Delaware net. Bussell does a nice job of skating, pass down low, out in front, a wide open net for Bussell, and the Black Bears can't connect on the pass. Here comes Houston Wilson, partial breakaway in against Shepard, and Shepard makes the glove save and plays the puck immediately. What a save all the way from Fort Worth, Texas. And delayed penalty coming up against the Thunder. Jamie Bussell will let it go off of the stick of Boilar. And Matidis touches up, and it's a 5-on-3 coming up as a hooking penalty is the first indication against the Thunder. And Matidis now in the penalty box for 2 minutes for a hook with 6:11 left to go. Black Bears have 52 seconds of 5-on-3 time, and power play unit number 1 still out on the ice. Binghamton calls their timeout with 6:11 left to go. We'll keep it right here as it's only a 30-second pause in the action. Haven't seen Binghamton use too many of their timeouts this year, but a big opportunity for the Black Bears to cash in and get an insurance goal here in the final minutes of the 3rd period. They have 52 seconds of 5-on-3 time. Alex Basie gets out first, 52 seconds to his penalty, and Amatidis' penalty will expire in 2 minutes. Black Bears make their way out onto the ice, and so do the Delaware Thunder. It'll be Regala, Moritz, and Wilson, the three short-handed, dressed in black. And the same power play unit back out on the ice for the Black Bears. Good use of a timeout. Let your power play unit just catch their breath temporarily. Houston Wilson wins the faceoff forward to himself and is applying heavy pressure on the three-man penalty kill unit. Tyler Jertz collects it at his own goal line, drops it back for Fitzgerald, and 35 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Fitzgerald with a head of steam circles the wagon behind the net, looking for an open man. Jertz back to Kirkby. One-timer from Jertz, blocked on the way through. Jertz loading up the cannon once again to Kirkby and melted down by the goaltender. Moritz wore that one like a champion on the first one-timer from Jertz, and Kirkby throws one right into the pads of the goaltender on the second shot. 20 seconds left to go in the two-man advantage. Fitzgerald now back with it for Jurich. Coming off of the face-off win. Fitzgerald now occupies center ice. Throws a one-timing pass over to Jurich, but it hops over the stick of Oganezov. 5 seconds left to go in the first penalty. 5-on-3 is getting ready to conclude. Jurich now has it on his stick. Wrist shot swallowed up. Puck is still available. Now ends up behind the net. It's a 5-on-4. The first penalty is over. Paddled down back into the corner by McHale. Black Bears still in control of the puck. 55 seconds left to go in the second penalty. The referee getting tied up with all the players. Back to the point for Bussell. And Fitzgerald tried a one-timer, but it's flown down all the way back to Joe Shepard's net. Here come out behind it, set it up on a tee, and power play unit number 2 coming out on the ice for the first time in 3 minutes of extra man advantage. Thompson throws it back, but watch out, Pierre-Luc Ballard almost came away with that puck. Ballard now over to Ivashkin. Just one tap it over to Thompson. Plays on sides for Brett Parker. Throws a wrist shot, turned aside with the left leg of McHale. Thompson now looking at Boilard, loading up the cannon. Ivashkin trying to get to center ice. Looking for another call is Ivashkin, not going to get one. And Delaware throws it all the way down the ice. 6 seconds left to go here in the penalty. Parker going to one-touch it, and the penalty is over. Black Bears go 0 for 2 on the 5-on-3. Delaware kills it off. Gaffroth throws a wrist shot and snared by Joe Shepard, melting the game down with 4:01 left to go. That takes us to our final media timeout of the evening. When we come back, we're at half, 4 minutes and 1 second left to play in this one. It's 2-1 Binghamton after these messages on Fox 1430.
.1430 Binghamton.
4:01 left to go as Delaware wins the faceoff. Oganezov throws a wrist shot booming from the point. That's steered aside by Shepard as he takes a look up at the clock. No icing. The linesman said that Delaware could have played it and that they pulled up just trying to get the offensive zone faceoff coming up. The Black Bears have not had the best of opportunities in the faceoff dot tonight. Centering pass out in front. It's overskated by the Thunder, and the Black Bears will escape harm temporarily. They haven't got it out of the zone quite yet, still held in. And Shepard has to come out of his crease to just get a stick to it, and this could be icing. And the linesman says no, it tipped on the way through once again as Basie now with the puck. Starting the breakout for the Thunder. He has to circle back temporarily as the forecheck of pressure was applied by Lewis. Anderson hounding 22 dressed in black, Dennis Gaffaroff. Gaffaroff has to just drop the puck back low behind for Eric Oganezov, who now has control of it at the red line. And now Merkel with the dump in all the way down. It misses everything. They say no icing. And the linesman says that the goalie had to play it. That was a bang-bang play. It looked to me from up here at my vantage point that it went past Mike McHale. Black Bears might have dodged a bullet right there, and the Delaware bench letting the linesman know at the blue line what they think of that call. Oganezov now looking for a friend to pass to. He finds Weber. Weber crosses the line on sides, wrist shot put on and easily detected by Joe Shepard with 2:22 left to go in the period. Coach Gill takes a quick peek down at the other crease all the way, occupied by Mike McHale, seeing when Delaware will decide to pull their goaltender. A good third period from the Delaware Thunder offensively has generated some chances 5-on-5, and that means that Delaware can probably be content to let the goaltender stay in between the pipes for the time being. Don't need to go a little too early. McHale looking over to the bench, looking for the signal as Walters comes away with the puck. Knocked down legally with a stick by Fitzgerald. They go D-to-D behind the net, and Walters will just elevate it into neutral ice. Ivashkin with control over it, takes away from Regala. Ivashkin still with a head of steam, coming in on the toe drag, backhand, they score. Nikita Ivashkin, with less than 2 minutes left to go, gives the Black Bears the insurance goal that they were looking for. Ivashkin with a head of steam, goes forehand, backhand, and beats the goalie to the far post, and the Black Bears lead 3-1 with 1:47 left to go. Three to 1 Black Bears as Nikita Ivashkin cashes in the third period. It's the only goal so far, and that'll force the hand of the Delaware club, maybe pulling the goaltender next time they get the puck down in the offensive end. It's an even strength goal at 18-13 of the period, and Nikita Ivashkin with his second point of the night. Tyson Kirby now looking for his second goal of the night with a headhunter pass that just steers past the helmet of the goaltender. Kirby with it down low and content to watch some precious seconds come off the clock, and Kirby gets tied up against the boards, knocked away by D'Angelo. Kirby trying to get to it from his knees, playing the puck down low. That'll just kill off a couple of seconds as Oganezov is first to it for Delaware. Booming slap shot from Kirby that's detected by McHale, and Kirby tries to follow up his shot like a basketball rebound, and McHale will hold on to it, and fresh bodies coming out on the ice for both sides. And timeout called by the Delaware Thunder with 55 seconds left to go here in this one. Black Bears find themselves up by 2 goals thanks to Nikita Ivashkin at 18-13, an even strength goal with the assist going to Austin Thompson. Only one helper issued out, but Austin Thompson gets a point in his first game back after missing the last 3 weeks due to injury. .55 seconds remain in this one. Both teams are out of their timeouts. Both called here in period number 3. Face-off one back by the Black Bears and chipped ahead by Jamie Bussell. Black Bears will get back. McHale looks over to the bench, waiting for the door to open, and there he goes. Mike McHale has his net vacated. JT Walters throws it down. It's blocked on the way through. Never made it past the red line. Bussell with an empty net. Stick handles around 1, but can't put the shot on goal. Anderson will just apply some forechecking pressure and skate back 30 seconds left to go in this one. Delaware needs 2 to tie this one up late. And Nikita Ivashkin with the insurance goal as Weber just dumps it in. Merkel wraps it around, takes a phony bounce off of the boards. Thunder skate out of their own end with the puck. That's a costly mistake for the Thunder, and that'll force them to come all the way back. Weber cross ice, plays on sides. Gavin Abbott will just backhand it, deflected on the way by Houston Wilson, and that'll be it for the Friday night showdown as the Black Bears get back in the win column. They come to Delaware and defeat the hometown Thunder by a final score of 3-1. Delaware picks up the extra 3 points tonight, and these two teams will face off again tomorrow in Binghamton for the Saturday night rematch. Thank you for tuning in tonight, but the La Quinta Inn & Suites postgame show is coming up next. Don't go anywhere, folks. More coming up after these messages. You've been listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox 1430 in Binghamton.
Join thousands of Binghamton hockey fans and give us a follow on.
All right, you got the one post-game break.
Thank you, sir.
Facebook.com/BlackBearsFPHL. And give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram @BlackBearsFPHL. Get up to the second team news, information, participate in contests, and get live game updates at home or on the road. Get interactive and say hello. Hit that follow button and give the new team some love. That's at BlackBearsFPHL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Let me guess. You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it.